not everyone can be a gem like last episode.
That is true. That last one was top notch.
It was. I actually also have sushi coming to me, so I'm pretty excited for that. Anyway, welcome back to Great Scott Marcus here on Ramble Entertainment. I'm Scott. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you?
SC. That looks like an A. I think that's an O. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark here on Ramble Entertainment, and we are back with our final ramble for this episode 30. Bit of a lackluster episode. We're not feeling it. It happens, but we're still going to talk about management. This is another one I kind of just tweaked a tiny bit. You wanted to say mismanagement, and I wanted to change it to management because I feel like at this point in my life, this is a position I never want to have to be in. Unless this fucking thing takes off. And I wasn't pointing to my penis, just so we're clear.
Weird if that thing took off.
Yeah, just where's it going? Why? And
I'm reminded of the Austin Powers movie with dicks flying in the air.
Well, yeah, wasn't it a rocket shaped like a giant penis?
Yeah, like dick and balls. And, yeah.
Johnson.
Good times.
Yep,
that's it.
Man, I miss Austin Powers sometimes. I feel like I want to watch those, but I can't tell if it will just be nostalgia or if they're just bad. Probably a bit of both.
A little bit of both.
So, yeah, Mark, you want to bring this up, so why don't you go ahead and kick this off, unless your brain is just going to continue to fart along.
I think I can string together some words where they're comprehensible.
Let's see if they're actually able to be understood.
All right, I'm gonna focus really hard here to see if this works. I just wanted to bring this up because, unlike the last round, I'm just gonna kind of blurt out and say everything that I've dealt with in my current position. I'm not gonna give away the name of the company. That's not good.
As we try to not reveal anyone we work with, any experiences we have, any names, workplaces, etc. on this show.
It's like the end of TV shows where it says like all names and places have
everybody knows your name.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. We're old.
Cheers fans. That's all for you guys.
All two of you.
If that.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the audience is like, what the fuck are they talking about? Cheers.
What is a cheers? Are they talking about Australians? Cheers, mate.
I think a lot of British people say cheers when I talk to them on the phone, and when they sign email signatures, it's cheers. I'm like, I wish I was British so I can get away with saying that.
I sometimes say cheers when I'm being really casual in email.
Nice. I like it. I'll say cheers if I'm holding a beer and there's a bunch of people around me doing the same thing.
Like, I say clang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start like saying a different language, like salud.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Anyways, I digress.
Ramble Entertainment.
Well, okay, focus, Mark.
Man, you're having trouble today.
I know.
I'm not helping.
I've been with this company now for about 2.5 years, and when I started, we had a certain owner, and in the past 2.5 years, he has stepped down. And also, when I first started there's about 10 people working there. Now there is 3.5. Say 3.5 because there's my boss, myself, one other guy. We're the only full-time people, and then one part-time person. I mean, she's there until about 2 or 3 o'clock every day. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about mismanagement was because I can't stop thinking about what I would do differently if I was my boss's position.
Let's be really careful around this.
I know, yeah. I'm just trying to dance around things, but like basically, I'm the only person that is doing my job, and I have, in 2 of the 3 jobs I've been doing were not my jobs when I first started out working there. I was given one specific role, and then one of the guys that was working ended up falling ill, and sadly he passed away recently. And then another guy quit 6 months ago. Yeah,
that?
Huh?
I don't want to reveal details, but was that the gentleman with? Never mind. I'll ask after the thing. It's
yeah. I know what you're talking about. But anyways, he ended up passing away recently, and the thing on my mind is And 6 months ago, someone else left that was also kind of filling in on those duties. And, now there's me that's stuck with like having these three different roles. And it just blows my mind like that. My boss can have such like confidence in me. Like, I guess it kind of feels good, but like this idea that, oh, I'll be there forever. Because like, obviously I'm trying to find another job right now. And it's just like,
I don't know if that's a confidence or as much as just like this guy's stuck here forever.
I'm not sure what it is though, but it's just like, I can't, I just can't get my mind around it thinking like, okay, it's been like a year and a half since my one coworker's diagnosis. And then a year later, another guy left. And it's just like, so there's a lot of time in there where someone else could have been brought in to help with these duties where I can do my other stuff that need to be done. And at the same time, we also had two other people that left. We'll call them engineers. And so now my boss is doing all the engineer work. And it's just like, fucking hire someone. Like, in the meantime, he's always, like talking about like how, we're not doing well, we're not bringing in enough money, and it's just like all these questions and these answers are like staring you in the face, but I feel like there's nothing being done about it, and I don't understand.
Well, I
think
management
can just get so out of control when it's like, okay.
I think this is also where where and why I also wanted to change things, because it's just like being in management positions are incredibly taxing and difficult, and
I guess I should say that I've never been in a management position myself, so it's probably a lot of bias on my end, but go ahead.
I've been in some faux management positions, so I can definitely like relate. There's also been times where I've worked 3 jobs at a time, so I've dealt with multiple different styles of management, and I just feel like there's a few different angles to approach this from, where it's just like, one, sounds like a shrinking company. 2, I think part of me wants to tell you that like maybe you need to express that like you're not just going to be their jack of all trades. I definitely say like it's admirable of you to have stepped up so far, but at the same time like you have also expressed many times on this show your desire to simply move forward with your career, and that a lot of these elements simply do not even tie into your career. And right. God, there's so much to unpack here. So like one of the large problems these days, I think, culturally within America, is this sense of us against you. We especially see it in school, kids in school, where it used to be teachers used to have authority, and now it's pretty much just like it's the kids and the parents against the teacher, instead of the teacher and the parents against the kid. And it should have never really been considered teacher and the parents against the kid to begin with. It should be more like a pyramid, where it's the teacher and the parents supporting the kid, but not like, like, we're gonna support you, going out and painting gang signs. It's gonna be great. Instead, it should be like it's kind of like the teachers are now supporting the parents and the kid, and it's this uneven pyramid where it's upside down. And did I just make a gang sign? I might have just made it.
I thought it was vagina.
That might have been it too. Anyway, moving forward, it's kind of at times also feels like this where it's just like it almost seems like management employees, where it's this complete separation. I feel fortunate that I don't feel that in relation to my own managers, but when I used to work at another location. This one I'm comfortable with because it's been so long since I've worked for them, and I have no intention of going back there. When I worked for Target, it was this kind of complete separation where it was your supervisors, and then it was your managers, and then it was all the other employees, and then of course there were like, oh well, you know, this kid is social with everyone, and you know, like he just kind of gets to mingle with everyone, and it's just like, it's often a lot of this like misappropriation of who is kind of getting held up or being supported and the why of the thing, where it's just like, can't we just go back to like getting things done and doing good work? And you know, like I guess it's for me, it's this overall message of just like, well, if the company is having issues and the product is failing, maybe it's just time to make a new product. Maybe it's just you know, maybe it's just time to start from the ground up again. Maybe, you know, like it's kind of, I don't know, you know, your product. I don't know the in and outs of your company, but it's just like, that doesn't sound good. And
oh no, yeah, it doesn't sound good at all. And I guess it was kind of interesting, you know, it's like I feel like with the three of us, like there's not a lot. It's not that kind of disconnect. You know, it's not like employee crazy. And employer.
And that's always nice. It is always nice to still be able to connect with your manager, your subordinate, either way, where it's just like they're. Here's a fun one, where communication is clear and concise.
Wow. Someone's brain's operating at a different level than mine today.
I've been writing again, so
okay.
Yeah, that's been quite nice. And yeah, it happens all the time, but it's just like it's always clear where it's just like where it's just not happening, and
it's like there's communication, and it's a lot of talk, but not a lot of walk. I guess, for as cliche as that can sound, you know, it's like, you know, he speaks of things like, he's like, yeah, you know, if you have any ideas, like, yeah, let us know, like, let me know, like, because I know you're kind of in on you know, these trends and, you know, this specific field that we're looking for. I was like, yes, you know, let me know, I'd like to know your thoughts and stuff like that. But the issue is, I feel like, you know, he also never really makes himself available. You know, I would
also
imagine.
Is it a thing of like, I want to know your thoughts, but then I almost never almost respond to those, or I guess take those in as part of the overarching goal or message?
It seems like it's, you know, in my boss's brain, like it's this one thing, you know, and it's hard to kind of deviate from that path. But he says, of course, like, he's like, yeah, I want to run things differently than what they used to run. But like I said, it's just like, I feel like there's a lot of the talk going on, but when it comes to actually executing, you know, these ideas, it doesn't really ever go to fruition, which is just kind of bizarre to me. You know, we actually had talking this past Friday, and I was like, maybe we should, you know, when we launch this next product, like that, we, you know, before we do that, you know, the three of us get together and, you know, talk in the conference for a half hour every morning, and, you know, try to get some ideas together before we actually like just full-fledged release this thing.
Is this something that you actually posited?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
So I will see how that goes. It was just weird because when I texted you about this management thing, it was kind of earlier in the week, I think like Wednesday or Thursday, and I was just like,
that's not early in the week, that's halfway to late in the week.
It was before Friday.
It was before.
And then Friday is like when I actually like was talking to my boss for about a half hour after, you know, before leaving. So like my general disposition kind of changed a little bit, but it's still like one of those things in the back of my mind where it's like, all right, now let's see if this really actually goes somewhere now.
I've been put, so this one I won't mention, but there was a store I worked for where sometimes the manager had to step out, and she would just be like, I'm gonna step out, you're in charge, like don't take crap from anyone. And I've also, you know, like led parties on in games, you know, moving to like score us some hot shit, but like it's really challenging stuff. In fact, the one time you kind of got really pissed about it. And it's this situation where it's just like, I'm doing this because I understand most of all of the goings-ons, and you know, it's just like I'm just trying to make the best judgment calls to get shit done. And it's always this fucking battle of just like why, or also just like people not accepting that like it's kind of this like, well, I'm here leading because I know like I said, the person in charge typically knows most or all of the ins and outs, and they also know why to not do it another way, to do it, a way that someone might suggest, a subordinate might suggest, an employee, a coworker, etc., might suggest, because they have done it that way before and it doesn't work. And a lot of that oftentimes can often be a failure of communication, where it's just like, well, I can explain it to you, but don't really have time because we're working, or we're in the middle of something, things like that. But it's also this kind of, I think in America, a lot of it is also this sense of like, well, just because you're, like above me or smarter than, or just because you're a supervisor or a manager or a leader doesn't mean you're smarter than me. There's always, fuck, I forget who it was, but I think it was like Andrew Jackson. No, it was not Washington. Fuck, was it Nietzsche? Basically, I was looking up some writing of a particular philosopher. I actually think it might have been Hume. Name doesn't matter at this point because I'm probably starting to spout names that like even you don't recognize. And
No.
The comment they made, and this is what I think was really surprising to me. The comment they made was that there is a culture war in America against intelligence, and this was back in the 1800s.
Really?
And yes, and because like for a while it's just been like I think there's a culture war against intelligence, and it's just like I feel like it's only been in the last like few decades, but like this has been there since the conceptualization of fucking America, and like you can kind of see it just perpetuating itself. And I don't think it's anything against the points you made here, but I do think like that a lot of managers, a lot of supervisors, a lot of people who just kind of place themselves in a leadership position are kind of almost looked down upon by those around them, where it's just like, just because you're in charge doesn't mean you're smarter than me. And it's just like, actually, yeah, it kind of fucking does. We kind of saw it with like even Obama being elected, where it's just like, oh, he's an elite. Well, no shit, he's an elitist. He
should be.
He's leading the goddamn country, and we saw it with Hillary Clinton, where it's just like she's speaking like a robot. No, she's speaking like she prepared herself. Like it's I was really surprised to find out how long this has been going on, and I do think it kind of almost helps me a lot of times to want to relate to those who are in charge of me, to those who might lead me sometime into a raid eventually on some kind of extreme PvP event on at work, or potentially in a company that I might be a part of in the future, because I don't want to manage, and I really don't. I mean, I appreciate what it takes. I appreciate what's there. However, I just think that I have dealt with enough shit, and I don't give a lot of it. I don't think I do. I just think that kind of going forward with that in mind, I do think it can help. And I really had a point in there and I lost it, so I'm going to stop dancing around this. Mark.
It's that kind of day, man.
It really is. Let's get into the topic to close out episode 30.
Yes.
Yes.